Hey guys, what's going on? So today I've got a pretty nice sized collection update. I know it's been a while. Got 2 records and a pretty nice stack of CDs. Got a Holy Grail in there too. It's been my most wanted CD for years. So yeah, let's get started. Hopefully this video doesn't end up being too long. But background, we're listening to Defeated Sanity, Songs on the Moribund. Fucking classic. Saw them a few weeks ago with Malignancy and Prophecy, which I'll talk about in this video. Anyways, I'll show the records first, I guess. This first one is a bit of a, I don't want to say it's like a super obscure, but it's kind of a hidden gem in like 80s hardcore punk. It's his Uniform Choice with, I'm forgetting the album title, Screaming for Change. Sorry, I'm fucking so exhausted right now. Really cool album. If you like Minor Threat, you'll love this. It's really fucking similar to like early Minor Threat. But yeah, it's like Minor Threat, but I think they're from the West Coast, actually. I'm pretty sure this band's from California. But yeah, I saw this at Frankensons, which is like this collectible show in Southern California. If you're from that area, you've probably heard of it if you're into like nerd shit like this. But I saw this there and I was like, oh, holy shit, I didn't know they did like a vinyl reissue of it, because I've been listening to this album since like middle school. But I never thought I'd find it on physical, so that's really fucking cool. But there's the cover, and there's the back, just like straight edge, you know, hardcore punk. You know, Minor Threat sounds like, you know what you're in for with this. The guy's voice is a little higher pitched than Ian MacKaye, but I really like his vocals. Really nice reissue though. You got like this like booklet with like band photos on the inside. Just really fucking high quality. I think this is put out through, I think, Southern Lord Records. Yeah, really fucking awesome. The song My Own Mind is a fucking banger. Like, if you haven't heard this band before, listen to that song. When this record came in the sleeve, I might put it back like this actually. I have this like in front of the album cover, like in the plastic sleeve, with just this photo that's on the album cover. There's the back with this artwork. Got another insert with a bunch of liner notes and lyrics. Another band photo. Really cool. This came on black vinyl. Very nice. Sounds fucking great. But yeah, awesome fucking reissue by, yeah, Southern Lord Records. But yeah, I'm so glad they reissued this. Like I said, though, kind of an underrated album. I never see anybody talk about this band. I remember discovering this on like YouTube when I was like, God, like 13 years old. So yeah, seeing this was a bit of a throwback. It's been a little while, but yeah, really just underrated 80s hardcore album. Usually when like the people talk about shit like this, when it comes to like the lesser known stuff, people talk about like, you know, Negative Approach, SSD Control, shit like that. But yeah, I've never seen anybody talk about this band. It's pretty hard to put away. I already know there's gonna be some motherfucker in the comments bitching about how I handle my records, but I don't care. If you care so much, just buy your own and take good care of them. I mean, I take pretty good care of my records. I'm just kind of clumsy. Anyways, I think I'm gonna put it back in like that because it looked really nice. But yeah, definitely check out this record if you're into 80s hardcore punk. If not, I don't know if you'll like this, but yeah, Uniform Choice, Screaming for Change. Awesome fucking album. Really glad I own that on physical now. Like I said, I never thought I'd see it. I know it's like a lesser known band. But anyways, next up we have a very well-known album. This is like the like new core shoegaze album. I've been listening to this album on and off for the past couple years, and I saw this at Rhino Records in Claremont, and I was like, why not? You know, it's a classic album, and I like this album quite a bit. It'd be nice to finally own it. My Bloody Valentine, Loveless, everybody fucking knows this album. If you're into music in general, you've probably seen this before. People make fun of this album a lot because it's like the entry-level shoegaze album. And shoegaze isn't a genre that I'm like balls deep into, but I dabble in it sometimes, and this is obviously such a go-to album, and for a good reason. This is like one of the most popular albums in the genre. I'm sure there's probably better out there that I haven't heard yet. Because I don't want to sound like a fucking normie, but I mean, like, there's a reason this album is so popular. It's just really fucking good. But yeah, there's the album cover, iconic. Usually it's a little less red and it's more pink looking, but yeah, I kind of like it a little more red though. There's the back. I just realized there is no track listing on here. That's funny. But I know the names of a lot of the songs. Oh, there we go. The track listing's on the labels. There's no insert. There's the labels. It came on a really nice purple vinyl. It sounds really good, but one of the songs, the needle gets stuck, so I have to lift it onto the next one. I think it's Just Before When You Sleep, which is like the best song on here, and the most popular one on here, I mean. But I really like Sometimes. That's another great song. What You Want is really good. I Only Said. Yeah, this whole album is really fucking great, though. You know, if you don't know what shoegaze is, just like wall of sound. Kind of, I don't really like a lot of indie music, but this is like very wall of sound oriented, kind of atmospheric sounding, really vibey, I guess, sort of indie music. But yeah, really fucking cool album though. I need to listen to this record more. I've only listened to it like 2 or 3 times since I bought it. But yeah, My Bloody Valentine, Love With, fucking classic. So now onto the CDs. I'm sure you guys were all waiting to see the brutal death metal. First up, this was a Christmas present for my parents. Really underrated album. Probably my favorite album from this band at this point. And nobody ever fucking talks about this one. Cenotaph with Reincarnation and Gore Ecstasy. This is their 2007 album, I believe. Put out through Unmatched Brutality. This one, they mix like Dying Fetus style grooves with their already kind of weird, very technical riff style, and it's so fucking awesome. Nobody talks about this album, and I think it's, I don't know if I'd say like their best objectively, but it's probably, I don't know, of all their albums, I have the most fun listening to this one. I know everybody dick rides Puke Genital Purulency, and for good reason. That's a great fucking album, but I don't know, something about this one, man. So good. But there's the album cover, pretty alright cover. There's the back. But if you like Cenotaph and you like Dying Fetus, Soils of Fate, shit like that, you'll love this album. It's so groovy, while still being weird and technical and like alien-like, what the fuck am I saying? But you know what I mean. If you've heard Cenotaph, they're a weird sounding band. But yeah, you know, Cenotaph from Turkey, of course, is the one I'm referring to. This is the Mexican Cenotaph, who, low-key, in my opinion, I think the Mexican Cenotaph is boring as fuck. But that's just me. I probably will upset a lot of people by saying that, but I don't really care. I don't know. I always tried getting into that band, especially when I was more into old school death metal than I was brutal death metal. I always just thought that shit was dry. That's like a whole other rant I could go on, but I fucking hate in like extreme metal or just kind of in any niche genre of music when people will dick ride a band or album just because it is of a certain style. Like when people will dick ride a certain band because, oh, it's obscure brutal death metal, or oh, it's old school death metal, or oh, it's fucking black metal. The same goes with like punk or post-hardcore, fucking goth music, like literally anything. I've noticed it's like a thing, but especially with fucking death metal, people do that, and I think it's like the corniest shit because there's so much mediocre, obscure death metal out there. But I just went on a completely unrelated tangent. Listen to the song Third Page from here. It has an awesome fucking groove at the end. But yeah, Cenotaph, Reincarnation, and Gore Ecstasy. Go listen to it. It's so fucking good. How do I fucking put this? Next up, I mentioned I saw Defeated Sanity with Malignancy. I got this CD in the mail like a week before that show, and it's probably my favorite release from Malignancy, and I got it signed by half of the fucking band. Motivated by Hunger. Super fucking underrated EP. I love this shit so much. I think it's better than Interviewer and Cannibalism, personally. Like, oh my god, just the Danny Nelson's Predator vocal and the fucking title track is so fucking awesome around the beginning. Just super fucking heavy. It's like, it's pretty similar to Intrauterine Cannibalism, but it's a little bit faster, I think, and it's a little bit more brutal, especially with the vocals. But yeah, I got signed by Danny and Ron, I believe. So yeah, I could shut up better when I take the book out. But this is an OG press put out through United Guttural from the early 2000s. Really fucking cool. They were great live, super fucking impressive musicianship and everything. But yeah, amazing fucking band. I've been listening to Malignancy more lately than I did before, especially after seeing them live. Yeah, really cool. I know this is a little bit of a harder to find one, but it's not like you're not gonna have to take out a fucking mortgage to get this CD. It's like at most like $30. That's what I paid for it. Which I know that's excessive for most people, but for like rare OG press brutal death metal shit, that's like nothing. But yeah, I digress. Malignancy, Motivated by Hunger, fucking so sick. God, I got it signed. Next up, at that show, Prophecy was on before Malignancy, and Prophecy was fucking surprisingly really good. They have like a newer vocalist that's like a younger guy. The dude was fitted the fuck out like a member of Weezer or something. It was hilarious. He had like a really nerdy looking fit on. It was like those memes that are like, oh, you know, the hardcore band's gonna, you're gonna die in the pit if the, bassist looks like this. That's like some fucking dork. That's what this situation was like. But this vocalist, he has a super like intense, energetic stage presence. Really awesome. I know he's not the original vocalist, but anyways, I picked this CD up. I'm glad they had it there at that show. Their classic, I think it's their debut, Foretold Foreseen. Really cool album. If you like Old Dying Fetus, like how I mentioned Night Feast with Cenotaph, but this is completely different. This is more like Killing on Adrenaline, just chunky meat and potatoes kind of shit. You will like this. Really fucking cool. The only thing that's weird about this song is the songs are really long. Like the first song, Port of Depression, is like over 8 minutes long, but it's just like groovy, brutal death metal. But yeah, really fucking pretty cool band from Texas. If you're not super into brutal death metal, I don't know if I'd recommend this, but if you just like fucking late 90s brutal death metal of like the groovier side of things, you'll probably fuck with this. Really fucking good, cool vocals, kind of sounds like John Gallagher. Sorry about my fucking dog in the background if you can hear that. But anyways, yeah, glad I got this album though, really good shit. Prophecy, Foretold Foreseen. Speaking of Texas, now we got my fucking Holy Grail CD. I've been wanting this thing since like, God, I was like 15, 16 years old, and I'm so glad I finally got this. So this is my biggest Holy Grail. It's probably kind of obvious what it might be if you've been watching this channel for a while, because it's like one of my favorite fucking bands. It's one of everybody's favorite bands in this fucking genre. But anyways, OG press of Devourment's Molestium the Decapitated, put out by United Guttural in 1999. So happy I finally own this, man. It's so sick just to hold it in my hands and look at it, you know? But yeah, you all know this album. You all fucking love it. Rightfully so. I mean, it's a fucking masterpiece. Like, this and Disgorge's Consume the Forsaken are tied for like best brutal death metal album for me. Love the Majewski art. Love the fucking bold side text. Love the band photo. Everything about this is like amazing. I'm so fucking happy I finally own this CD, man. Sounds great. It's in great condition. You got all the lyrics and shit in the booklet. These fucked up pictures in the back. I don't want to get this video taken down, but Lord knows what the fuck is going on there. But yeah, super awesome to finally own this though. Classic fucking album for a reason. I mean, it's been reissued, but I'd much rather have an OG press. You know, with the clear jewel case and OG layout and OG colors on the album cover and everything, you know? But yeah, if you haven't heard this album, like, you're fucking up. You need to listen to it. But the title track is like one of my favorite songs, just in general, like of all time. Choking on Bile, of course, Fuck to Death, Devour It Down, Postmortal Coprophagia. Every song here is amazing. Yeah, Devourment, Molestium the Decapitated. Very happy I finally own this. It's like one of my most prized possessions in my collection of physical music now, man. This next one's a little bit like a borderline guilty pleasure. A lot of people really like this band, and a lot of people like shit on this band because they get kind of lumped in with porno grind, but I don't really think they're a porno grind band personally. This is kind of a weird one. We got Torso Fuck with Erotic Diarrhea Fantasy. This is also original press, put out through Gorgiastic Records at some point in the early 2000s. I don't remember what year this came out. But yeah, it's pretty similar to like Mortician, I'd say. And a lot of people don't, I've never heard a lot of people say that, but it's got like that fuzzy guitar tone. I'm not even a big Mortician guy, but I think these guys do that sort of style of like programmed drums, fuzzy guitar tone, you know, super blasty with like bouncy grooves in between. People call them porno grind because of some of the lyrics, but a lot of people call them gore grind. I just think they're like kind of in this realm of like brutal death metal, death grind kind of shit. Like it's got a little bit of grind to it, but it's also got like straight up slams and shit. It's not that different from like Devourment, honestly. But anyways, there's the album cover. I don't want to get this video taken down, dude. Everybody's heard I was gonna say fucked by elephants. Raped by elephants. Fucked by elephants sounds so much worse. Even though, I don't know, man. But the title track is great. Fist fucking her decomposed cadaver. This is a really good sounding CD, actually. This album sounds a lot better on physical than it does like just on YouTube or Spotify or whatever, which is really cool. But anyways, there's not a lot I could show from the inside of the CD, but there's the disc. Actually, there's only really one thing I can't show. There's the logo. I like their logo. But yeah, a lot of people's complaint with this band is just, oh, they're porno grind, so it's stupid. But I don't know. I think that's kind of a closed-minded sort of thing. If you're into brutal death metal, I think this is worth giving a shot. It's just fun, groovy shit. These weird photos I'm probably not going to show too much of. This one thing I absolutely cannot show. He's got all the lyrics. I've taken a glimpse at them. They're pretty weird, as you would expect from something like this. But yeah, it's a classic album, but it's also an album that a lot of people are just kind of are mixed about. Like, it's like a love it or hate it kind of band. I just think it's fun shit to listen to. But But yeah, Torso Fuck, Erotic Diarrhea Fantasy. Weird as fuck and disgusting, but classic for a good reason. Alright, next up, this is probably the goofiest thing I'll show in this whole collection update. I got Weezer's Pinkerton. I couldn't be talking about a more different band than Torso Fuck. I showed Weezer's Pinkerton in my last collection update, so not long after I went ahead and I got the self-titled debut, the Blue album as well for like $5 off of eBay. Just catchy, alternative rock from the 90s. Everybody's heard fucking Sweater Song. Buddy Holly is like memed to death to the point where I'm not even that crazy about that song, honestly. But there's some great songs on here though, like The World Has Turned and Left Me Here, Only in Dreams. No One Else is really catchy. My Name is Jonas. The only song on here I don't really like is Surf Wax America. I think that one's kind of, I don't know, it's a little goofy. Which, I mean, it's Weezer. Like, this album cover is fucking goofy, but you know what I mean. It's catchy. I could say it's a guilty pleasure, but like, I'm showing it shamelessly right now. But yeah, it's just catchy shit, man. You've all heard this a million times and either love it or hate it, you know? But yeah, I don't have much else to say, though. Weezer, Blue album. Alright, next up we got a CD that's a little harder to get, that's like a borderline holy grail. I'm really happy I finally own some shit from this band. Been listening to them a ton over the past year. This is Seisha with, I don't know if they call it, a retrospective. I almost called it like collection. This isn't the fucking Misfits. If you don't know Seisha, Screamo, Scrams, I don't know if I call them emo violence, but it's like old school Screamo from like the late 90s. If you haven't heard any Screamo either, this is a really good starting point. It's kind of like grindcore-ish type of shit. It's really fast and chaotic and noisy, but there's some like hints of like melody. So if you're into like black metal or grindcore, honestly, like old Screamo and emo violence, which emo violence is like Screamo mixed with power violence, that kind of shit is probably up your alley, honestly. Super fucking great genre. There's a lot of good music. But I think Seisha is one of the best bands. Seisha and Page 99, I think, are like my two favorites, and they're both super well known. I've talked about Page 99 on here before. I even did a guitar cover from this band. But this is like kind of a hard to find CD. I'm glad I finally got it. It's just their whole discography all in one disc. I think they only ever made like a full length and then a bunch of splits and demos. But Venus and Bacchus, One Dying Wish, just amazing, beautiful fucking songs, man. There's a few teeth missing from the center, so that sucks. But there's the disc. There's the back. It's a very high quality booklet. It's got this like matte sort of finish almost. And then you got like a ton of fucking liner notes and shit I need to read through, and lyrics and stuff. It's all like this like silver, like shiny kind of font. But yeah, really fucking cool. Love Seisha. I'm really glad I own this. If you haven't heard it, you need to listen to it. I could talk forever about this, but I don't want to do it to be too long. But yeah, Seisha, the retrospective, really fucking cool. Last but not least, this one will be a little weird to show. I never thought I'd show anything from this band or talk about this band on here, but this is an album I got into over the past year. I'm not as crazy about the rest of this band's material, and this is like, it's like a normie band, but this album, like a lot of their fan base just doesn't talk about and you never hear about. And yeah, I always like wrote this band off as like, the cringy emo band when I was in like middle school and high school, and then I heard this album and I'm like, dude, this just sounds like old AFI. I don't know if I call it a guilty pleasure because I think it's a genuinely good album, but My Chemical Romance with I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love. This isn't like as hot topic-y and like poppy as they would get. This is a much more like punky kind of post-hardcore album akin to like, I think like the Art of Drowning era AFI. There's a lot of moments on here that sound like fucking like Days of the Phoenix and shit like that. And it's really hard to find bands that sound like fucking AFI. I've explored a ton of post-hardcore and hardcore punk from like that era, and there's just not a lot of bands that sound like that. But this, it's not like super close, but it comes pretty close at times. But yeah, I like Jarway's vocal performance on here. It's a lot. His vocals are more like kind of neurotic sounding at times. He gets a little screamy in some parts, or he does these things where like he'll sing a whole line clean and then he'll just kind of groan a few words in the middle of it, and it's really weird and like, I don't know how to explain how it sounds, but it's really fucking cool and just energetic. But yeah, the first song on here, Honey This Mirror Isn't Big Enough for the Two of Us, is great. There's only 2 songs later I don't really like, and those are Head First for Halos and This Is the Best Day Ever, but the rest of this album is great. Demolition Lovers is one of the more popular songs on here. But yeah, I know it's like a little bit more of a rare CD too, so I'm glad I got it for pretty cheap. Yeah, there's the inside. I don't have much else to say for this. It's just like catchy post-hardcore shit from the early 2000s. I like a couple songs from the one after this, 3 Cheers, and then I don't really give a fuck about Black Parade or any of that shit. I just think that album is kind of like not as good as this one, you know? And they're not comparable because it's like super different from everything else they ever did. Again, if you're into like hardcore punk or like horror punk, I'd say more so, and like post-hardcore shit like that. If you like old AFI, which that's like my favorite fucking band, you'll probably like this. That's why this clicked with me. If you're not into that kind of shit, you won't like this. Yeah, I might get shit from showing coming from this band. If you never listen to this album, you can't talk though. But yeah, fucking great album though, honestly. Yeah, MCR. People just call this album Bullets. But yeah, I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love. Check it out if you're into that kind of shit. Cause not everyone talks about this album. People always talk about other stuff, but this one's really fucking good. But yeah, at least in my opinion. But that's it for this collection update though. Hope you guys enjoyed. Kind of a funny album to end this video on. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed though. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.